Received a call from the doctor about a week after surgery, and it was with the uh-oh news.
The cancer had spread to the lymph node, and which means that's the superhighway to the whole body.
Just 2 days after that, I had the worst news.
And then the most devastating thing in the world happened.
At the end of October in 2022, I went for a mammogram, which I haven't gone in 4 years. And unfortunately, I was called back to have a second mammogram. Shortly after that second mammogram, I was called in to do a biopsy. It was just after Christmas I went in for a biopsy. Shortly after that, I had to go see a breast specialist.
They told her she had a DCIS lump and she needed to have lumpectomy, potentially. We saw a breast specialist because she actually developed Paget's disease.
So my husband and we went in to see the breast specialist, and he told me some unfortunate news that I had cancer and that it was DCIS. And he said, but it's the best cancer. If you were going to have cancer, this is the one you would want to have because you don't need chemo or radiation, and that I would have to take medication for 5 years, which is an estrogen blocker. Of course, I was devastated, but I was relieved that I didn't have to do chemo and radiation. Shortly after that, I was scheduled an MRI.
So it was like early January, we went to Southfield to get this MRI, and the nurse there was ridiculous and had an insurance information issue. We almost drove all the way home. I called GEHA on the phone as we're traveling back to the house. They informed us of our pre-approval number, and we drove all the way back to Southfield, got the MRI done, and it was inconclusive anyway.
It was inconclusive. It didn't show that I had any more cancer. My lymph nodes showed that it was clear, so I was going to go ahead and do the surgery.
So we had a follow-up visit with a surgeon who recommended the mastectomy, and we went with that plan.
When I went to see the breast specialist, I was told that I will need a mastectomy. I also had Paget's disease, and that would be a full mastectomy, not just a lumpectomy. February 2023, it was February 15th, I went in. Surgery went really well.
The surgery took place, and they unfortunately found more cancer than just Paget's DCIS. There was also another lump that was invasive, that the cancer escaped to the lymph nodes. And a doctor came in and explained to us in the hospital after surgery that there may be that issue. So we were nervously waiting and anticipating the lab results of the cultures they took of the lymph nodes. They took 3 of her lymph nodes. And when they came back, it was not the news that we wanted.
Received a call from the doctor about a week after surgery, and it was with the uh-oh news. He asked me if I was sitting down, and I knew it had to be bad news.
The cancer had spread to the lymph node, and which means that's the superhighway to the whole body.
He said, I will be needing radiation. I was so devastated. I was in tears when I got off the phone to find out now that I will need radiation.
And I remember Carrie went with my mother to a radiation appointment, and they said, oh no, you're in the wrong place. You need to go to get chemotherapy before you see us.
My mother-in-law had took me to the radiation because I couldn't drive because I just had my mastectomy. And the first thing they hit me with is, you don't need radiation yet, you will need chemo. I couldn't even think straight to be told now that I need chemo. I couldn't hear one word that they were even telling me about radiation. And when we came home and my husband came home, all I did was just cry. I was devastated, as going through chemo was one of my biggest fears I ever had to face.
And she was devastated. And we prayed about it. We talked with the doctor about it. We went to a couple different oncologists so that we could figure out the best plan forward. And Carrie liked the oncologist at Henry Ford. We didn't care for the treatment plan at Ascension. It seemed like they were very regimented and weren't able to allow you to be your own advocate. And as a cancer patient, you need to be your own advocate. You need to have choices on your path. And you can't just follow some prescription. You have to have the ability to navigate this.
In April, it was the day after Easter, actually, I had my port placed. It was really red and swollen, just had a lot of problems, but they told me it was fine, that I could go ahead and start chemo. I started chemo that same week. Hi, my name is Carrie. I had a mastectomy February 15, 2023. I have breast cancer. Tomorrow will be my first chemo, and I will be doing it for 4 months, and it'll be 6 hours of chemo, 1 chemo every 3 weeks. I have to do antibodies up to a year, but the chemo part will be done after 4 months, and then I got to continue with antibodies, which could also make me sick, which I am honestly nervous about.
She had a port put in, and then a few days later, started her first treatment. It was a very horrible situation.
Today is April 13th. This was my first day of chemo. I feel like I did pretty good. It went better than I thought. As you can see, I have the cold cap on me. My nerves and anxiety were getting to me when I first got there, but I feel like I immediately calmed down. The nurses and the staff were wonderful. I feel like I can do this. So I had my port placed Monday. I started chemo on Thursday. I was really, really nervous. I had to make an appointment with my oncologist to set up for chemo, and I had decided that I was going to try cold capping to save my hair, which is a very long process. We actually had to go for cold cap training. My husband, Darren, would be the one to do my cold capping. I'm so thankful and blessed he was able to do this.
We found out about an opportunity to do cold capping to save her hair. I know she was devastated about chemotherapy and losing her hair. And through Penguin Cold Capping, we found a grant that we were able to use to help rent the equipment. There were ice packs for her head.
I had an opportunity to apply for a grant to get the cold capping, and I applied for it, and they granted me, they asked me what percent I wanted, and they were going to give me 75%, and they ended up granting me 100% coverage to do cold capping, which I'm so blessed and thankful for this opportunity.
I had to go get dry ice for every treatment, 80 pounds of dry ice, and I would stack them in bags, and there was 3 caps, and I'd have to stack them between the layers of cold dry ice. And I had these gloves and thermometers. Each cap had to be exactly 33 degrees below 0 Celsius. And I had to massage them and make sure that they were exactly the right temperature, and then put them on her head for 20 minutes at a time and rotate them in the ice chest. Kept that going for every one of her chemotherapy treatments. One frozen cold cap. Get all the condensation off. Get the gel moving. Dry ice in a cooler. 45 pounds of dry ice. 20 on the bottom. Basically 12 and 12. Layer it in 3 sections. Hot dry ice in the bottom. You can see how cold it is. Negative 30 to 33 Celsius. That's the temperature. I have to warm it up with my body. That's perfect. Yep. Before we get it on her head, we want to make sure it's dry.
It's like to mentally prepare for this. It's so like, it doesn't feel good. Taking it on and off is a challenge.
It's very strong. Velcro.
Oh, wait. Oh, gosh, it's so cold.
That's a cold wrap. Ready?
Yes.
Off we go.
Oh, gosh. It's nuts falling.
Got it?
I got it.
Freezing the scalp. Basically to almost frostbite. It's that cold.
The first few minutes are so hard.
Is it like a brain freeze?
Yep.
Freezing.
All right, you're on the clock.
I have about, how much longer? About 2 more cold caps and then I'll be done for the day.
How was your chemo treatment? You went to chemo this morning?
I feel like it went pretty good today.
Right.
May 4th, 2023, and I survived my second chemo.
All right, bag it back up and get it in the cooler. The bottom one will be the coldest, so this one will go on top, and then we'll move the next one down to the bottom, and that one's getting down to temperature while we have that one on our head. Dry ice. Dry ice, there's a cold cap, and there's another layer of dry ice. So that one will be next. This one will be on deck. White gel side down. And ice on top.
I'm freezing. I mean, I'm really cold now. Once we decided I was going to try cold capping, I was very nervous after we went to our training because it was really difficult. They put it on my head and it wasn't even that cold, and I didn't think I could handle the cold capping. I was having a lot of anxiety, thinking I'm going to let everyone down if I can't do this. It has to be at a negative 33 degrees on your head during the whole time of chemo. So with that being said, my first day of chemo, I was really nervous and anxious, and when we got there, the nurses were wonderful, really put my mind at ease, and I thought to myself, I can do this. And once we got going, everything went well. I had to do 4 different bags of chemo, and once we got going with the cold capping, after just a few minutes of cold capping, I realized that I'm gonna do this. And I got through it somehow. The first day we were there about 8 hours. It was a really long day. And once we got home, we had to continue with cold capping for about 4 more hours, which was exhausting. It was a lot of work to make this work. I had to, I wasn't allowed to wash my hair in the shower. I had to take a bath in lukewarm water. I wasn't allowed to scrub my head. I just had to kind of go like this with my hair. That's all I could do. I wasn't even allowed to comb my hair. I had like a hair pick that I can, just kind of comb my hair out. Wasn't allowed to, I had to use all special products for my hair. I couldn't use regular shampoo. Wasn't allowed to put gel or anything in my hair. I had to just leave it and let it air dry. Wasn't allowed to blow dry it, do anything. Wasn't allowed to get my hair colored. I had to just leave my hair be, and it looked crazy for a while. I wasn't allowed to be in the sun. I had to keep my head covered anytime I was outside. I wasn't even allowed to get a haircut, so I just had to leave my hair. 24 hours after chemo, I have to go back up to the hospital to get a shot in my stomach, and it's for, I believe it was a white blood cell shot to help with that. It's very painful, and it does make you feel awful. So he leaves work, goes to school, and then goes back to work. Are they paying you for the time you're in school?
Sometimes. A few times they did.
How you doing?
Okay. I'm doing good today. I'm hanging in there.
Doing
I know I
good?
don't look the best. My face has gotten from the steroids that I'm taking. It makes my face kind of get red and swollen. So tomorrow's my last dose of steroids until I start my next treatment. But overall, I'm doing pretty good. I even took a walk today. Came over to visit me and brought me some dinner for tonight for all of us. And we gave Mima her birthday gift today because her birthday is on Monday. I think it's on the table.
Okay.
So she's going to take me, I have an appointment today that I have to go to the hospital, and they're going to give me a shot in my stomach for, it's supposed to help for the white blood cells. So I'm a little anxious about getting the shot, but I can do it. I did not feel sick right after chemo. I thought I would, and I didn't. I started feeling sick about 7 days after chemo. But during that time, just after my first treatment, one evening I was having the runs really bad, pretty much all night. I was up all night with the runs. I started getting some chest pain and back pain. I had woke Darren up in the morning. It was just like about 4:30, 5 in the morning. I woke him up, told him I wasn't feeling well, I was in pain. I contacted my oncologist, and she said I need to go into the emergency room ASAP. So we went in, found out that I had a blood clot. Today is November 12th, 2023, and tomorrow, the 13th, I will be having surgery. I'm going to have my port removed, which I had to have removed because the cardiologist said that it's not good for me to have the port in, having a foreign object in my body. And I'm getting my expander out, which is a good thing. So I'm really excited about this because it's been very uncomfortable. It's a hard plastic piece. So I'm getting that put out, and I'm getting basically a new breast put in, which is supposed to be more comfortable. So it's the reconstructive surgery that I will be having, which I'm so excited about. A couple weeks ago I was sick and I was coughing up mucus, and there was blood in my mucus, and Dad had mentioned if this happens again you should probably let your doctor know. He was concerned. So that morning, of course, I was coughing up more blood, and I messaged my oncologist, and she said I need to go in right away, and she was concerned. Went to the hospital, and they ran a bunch of tests. Everything was coming up normal. They did a chest x-ray and COVID, everything's normal. And we were happy to find out if I still had a blood clot on my lung. They did a CAT scan on me. And we did find out that the blood clot is gone, but they found there was a nodule there, but apparently it was there before. They told me the words they used is it's stable. And the doctor did say that it, not that it can't turn cancerous. Honestly, I did kind of freak out hearing those words, thinking cancer again. They did send me home. Since then, I've been doing fine. My oncologist followed up with me and told me that this is a very common thing on the lung, and to not worry about it. That is very small. It's only 4 millimeters? So it's too small to biopsy, and they'll just follow it for about 2 years. It's November 13th. I had surgery today. I had my port removed, and I had my expander taken out, and I got my replacement done today. I woke up, it was crazy, because when I woke up, my legs were shaking crazy. They told me it was most likely from the anesthesia, and just gave me some pain medication. I'm doing a little bit better now with the pain medication, which was terrible. They had to put me on blood thinners right away. I had to stay in the hospital overnight. They had to monitor me until I was stable and doing okay. After that, I started feeling better. During that time, I would get sick. It would be probably about a week after chemo. I would be pretty ill for days. I would be very shaky. Then I started getting a really awful taste in my mouth. I called it metal mouth because everything tasted awful. All the foods I loved, I didn't like anymore. Even water tasted awful. I had to get flavored water. The only thing that was tasting good for me was soup, which, thank God, my mom, every week she made me soup. It would be either chicken noodle or chicken lemon rice. She brought over homemade soup, and that was one thing I could eat. It were in applesauce and graham crackers. When I went back and did more chemo, today is May 3rd, and tomorrow I will be getting my second chemo. I'm feeling a little nervous about getting my second chemo treatment, but not as much as I did my first one because I know what to expect now. I'm receiving so many prayers, and I'm feeling like I got this. Right now at this moment, I'm feeling really good. So today I feel almost like a normal person. Probably one of my best days these last couple of days. And I know going into this, I'm kind of going to go a little backwards, but having these few days of feeling good gives me the strength to push through. 2 weeks ago, it was, I believe, April 19th, I was experiencing, actually the night before that, I was experiencing really bad pain in my chest and in my back. I was having intestinal issues as well. My doctor wanted me to, she gave me a phone number I had to call in the morning. I had contacted, and they basically told me because I was experiencing this chest pain, and they said I sounded out of breath, that I had to go right to the ER, which was kind of scary. So I had to wake up my husband Darren to take me to the ER. And when we went in the hospital, they were running a whole bunch of tests, and it was a really hard moment because the first thing I was told was, we're going to do an x-ray of your chest and your back, and we want to make sure that cancer didn't spread to your spine. And that I was a mess. I was crying, thinking at that point that could be a possibility. And unfortunately, they had found a blood clot on my right lung. And at that point, I was told I was going to be put on blood thinner medication to help control the blood clot. What it does is it prevents it from growing. It doesn't make it go away, unfortunately, but it prevents the blood clot from growing. And I was released from the hospital the next day. So I just keep saying one day at a time, and I'm trying to just pull myself together each day and telling myself that I can do this, and I just can't wait until I come out on the other end and just...
My chemo lasted about 6 hours of chemo. The first one was the longest one. We did receive a call that there was a shortage on chemo. She started out with 4 treatments. There were 2 preventative treatments and 2 very powerful chemotherapy drugs. I think it was carboplatin and Taxotere. The carboplatin was only supposed to be a 4-dose treatment, and there was a national shortage, so they ran out. Thank God. After 2 doses, she was done with that. She was supposed to run Taxotere for 8 additional treatments, and Carrie couldn't walk anymore. I messaged my doctor the night before chemo and told her I can barely walk. She had called me immediately, and she said, we are canceling your chemo, but you still have to go in and do the Herceptin and Perjeta, which doesn't give you the effects where you get sick from it. I would feel a little sick, but nothing like chemo. I went in and had that done, and I was starting to do a little better. We bought this recliner for her surgery, and knowing that she was going to go through this treatment, she lived in this recliner. I thought she was going to die. I honestly thought I was going to lose my wife. I was devastated. I was pretty broken last summer. And the doctor said that they were going to stop. And I was so thankful, because I don't think she could have taken another dose of chemotherapy. She was so swollen and hurting so bad, and it was devastating for all of us to see. But she was a trooper, and she fought through it. I don't know how, because it was devastating to watch.
After my last chemo, I came home to a big surprise with family, including my mom that set up this get-together with my mother-in-law, Jan, and my stepmom, Chris, and family came over. We went out to dinner to celebrate being done.
We had a little get-together to celebrate her being done with those main treatments of chemotherapy. But she had the targeting drugs for a full year after. We had Chris come in from Florida and my mom and her mom and their husbands join us for dinner as a celebration that she was done with the actual chemotherapy drug.
Look at the picture I chose. Was her and Carter. So we're gonna just put that on the table. I feel so nervous today.
Why?
I just do. You know, I'm excited for Carrie. Carrie has already had her last chemo. I wear the bracelet for Carrie. Carrie's strong. And I also wear my watch, and these are both reminders every day. The cross around my neck is my reminder of our trust in God, that God will bring her through this, and we're being strong for her. We love her, that she is going to be healed of this awful disease. So we love you so much.
All right, so today we are celebrating the survival of my mom. No more chemo treatments is what we're celebrating. And as you see, we just decorated the house a little bit. And my grandma is going to pick up her from the hospital right now. So I'm just waiting to post outside with the camera, trying to get her reaction on camera. That's like the whole idea, is to get her reaction in the video. So hopefully I can succeed with that. I'm just camped out on the side of the house right now, just waiting for them to pull up. She texted me that she was 5 minutes away.
Oh my gosh, look at this. I can't believe all these decorations. This is beautiful. Wow. Oh my gosh. Wow, look at all this. I'm like overwhelmed.
Hello there.
Hey, how are you?
So good to be here. Oh my goodness, I'm so thankful to be able to celebrate Carrie's day with her. It's going to be wonderful. Yay.
How was your last?
Oh, I'm just so happy to be done with the chemo. Glad that part is over with.
Yeah, it's another step.
Blessed. Yes.
Definitely a step of the way.
Yes, one big thing done.
Yeah.
No more. You're gonna make me cry. So good to see you. I just couldn't wait to
Came up
you know, really. I'm so glad it's done. Yeah, I know. It made me cry.
Mom survived chemo.
Yes.
Yeah. She defeated cancer. So now it's all preventative stuff.
Now we're going forward.
You were the cold cap guy.
Co-cap guy, yes. It was an 8-hour day of non-stop shuffling ice and cold caps.
Just right here.
Putting them on and taking them off.
Now I can so isn't it?
Hey!
I was just telling me about your hip.
Hey, I know. I'm so happy for you. Thank you. No more chemo. I know.
Yes.
What's this? Oh.
You're Carrie.
Ring the bell. Ring the bell?
Yes.
Now it feels really real. Ringing
There
the
you
bell.
go. Yeah. And better Carrie in there, right?
I missed it. You gotta ring it again. It's a lot. It's a lot. Oh my gosh.
thank you everyone for being here for me. You know, I mean,
They'll be at dinner tonight.
this committee will take the camera and take a picture of you and her, right? You know, like Brendan, I'm thinking about you. Well, I take more video later on. Yeah.
Works every time, doesn't it?
One more thing for you. And then maybe you should sit down. Do I need glasses? Yeah, she'll need glasses. Oh, I love the front picture. I knew you would. Okay, I'll try to find it. This is great. I can't believe this.
Were you surprised?
Oh my gosh, I was so surprised. I'm just so blessed and overwhelmed with everyone being here and coming home and just pulling up in the driveway and seeing all the things in the front yard and walking into the house. And I'm just so blessed and thankful for everyone, my family, and for my mom putting this together. And
Did you expect any of this?
no, I did not. I did not expect any of it at all. No, I was totally caught off guard. And I knew something was going on because, you know, my mom said, oh, something at the house. And in my mind, I thought, oh, we're just going to meet here and maybe have some snacks. But I didn't think all of this.
You came out all the way from Florida.
I know. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. Oh my gosh, to be with my little Carrie Ann and you guys, and it's just like the best of the best. You know, through storms and this and that, hey, I got here, and you know what? You're moving forward. You know, we're going to trust in the Lord and lean not on understanding, and we'll follow His ways. And you know what? Trust Him, right?
But I still had to continue on with treatment with, it's called Herceptin and Perjeta. I had to do that all the way. It would be a full year of treatment. So as I was coming to the end of treatment, I had another appointment with my oncologist, and I was told that I would probably need to do radiation and I need to set up an appointment for that, which was devastating to me, just finishing chemo, thinking now I'm gonna have to do radiation. My husband and I decided to get a second opinion. We went to Chicago. Today is August 8th, and this evening, Dad and I are leaving today to go to the airport. We're going to be flying into Chicago to City of Hope Hospital, going for another opinion. Just want to get some answers. I'm just praying that I will not have to do radiation, and I just want some answers on where to go forward from here. I just wasn't feeling confident when I seen my oncologist last time. I felt, when I asked how do I know I'm cancer free, I just felt like it just wasn't enough for me. I just feel like I need more. I want to learn more about diet and nutrition and health, and I want to know where to go from here and how can I prevent cancer from reoccurring. I'm feeling hopeful going into this, and I just pray that I can move forward and feel better. Today I'm feeling much better. I just started feeling like myself again, and I want to continue on that journey to health and not have to worry about cancer every day. My last treatment was June 15th, so
Been like a month.
so
and
almost
2 months.
like about almost 2 months, just short of 2 months. So I'm finally just starting to feel well. However, I still have to continue going every 3 weeks and getting Herceptin and Perjeta treatment. And I'm hoping going to this place that they will have a different plan for me. But if they tell me that this is what I need to do, at least I know that I'm on the right path.
Going to City of Hope, Chicago. We're gonna fly into Milwaukee, and we're gonna drive an hour south to our hotel, and we're gonna get a new opinion for preventative treatment plan through one of the biggest cancer institutions in the United States of America. So that's what we're hoping for. We're very hopeful for a better plan forward from today.
The best part of going to Chicago was we found out that I do not need to do radiation. I was so grateful that my husband and I just walked out of that room and we hugged each other, and we both hugged and cried, and we were just so happy that we didn't have to do that. We went to Chicago in August, and we've seen numerous doctors for a lot of different things, and we had to find out if I needed to do radiation or not. So we seen a radiologist, and she basically had everything written down on paper and came in, and me and Dad were sitting there just waiting, and I was a wreck, to be honest, because I knew that going through radiation would be really hard on me. And when she walked in, she was going down the list saying, basically saying you don't need radiation because of this and this, and she was just kind of going down the list and said that it would only benefit me by 5%, and said that it would actually cause more problems than what it's worth, and I would not benefit from radiation. And when I got that news, we cried. Me and your dad we hugged each other and we just cried because we prayed so hard, and it was the best news that we could ever receive, was to find out that I didn't need radiation. We also did see another oncologist, and that oncologist basically went over everything and basically confirmed that everything I've been doing this whole time is the right thing. So I was on the right path. And it was good to get that confirmation, just to know that the treatment that I was doing was the right treatment. As I was going through chemo, every day my son would come home and you would walk over to me and you would like check on me, and you would just ask me how I'm doing, and you had that concerned look in your eyes every day. You just did. Brendan was there for me when I needed a ride last minute. He took me to my plastic surgeon appointment. I mean, he jumped in his car like no questions asked and took me, and we went and had breakfast together. When I found out I had to do radiation, I was sitting on that couch bawling my eyes out, and Brendan came home from work and he sat next to me and put his arms around me and hugged me. Said he was here for me.
Although I was thankful, I knew we still had a journey to go. And that fall, we took another trip to Florida to celebrate, and at her recovery, she was starting to gain strength and get healthier. She was walking again. She was getting back to her life again. Slowly but surely, she gained that strength, and by the beginning of this year, 24, she was doing very well with the targeting drug, and she's anticipating ringing that bell. And we were so looking forward to it. It was a hard time. We had a beautiful border collie family dog that we lost during this time. But it was devastating to see, the rock of the household, the mother of your children and your wife looking like she's going to die. And it was terrifying. Starting a new year, I thought, this is it. We are going to have the best year of our lives. We are going to have an amazing year. And mid-February, we were on that pace that we were going to do this.
On February 22nd, which was my second to last treatment, my son Tyler took me for my last treatment.
Hopefully this IV goes good today.
Alright, I'll have Matt start hitting your IV, then I'll get some vitals, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Carrie, did they ask for our insurance card up front?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I usually just close my eyes and pray, so. So how have you been doing with these treatments?
Pretty good. Now that the chemo part's done. Yeah. One more after this.
The worst, right?
It is. It's been life-changing, that's for sure.
Anything good come from it?
Yes, it makes me appreciate the small things,
That's good, right?
Yeah.
I find that a lot. That's why I love working in this area. I hear all the time people just really appreciate life.
Yeah, I feel like, my whole outlook has changed. Are you dead at? Oh my gosh.
I didn't have a choice. I'm getting videotaped for the lawsuit.
No.
Yeah, it's flushing great. Okay. I'm just going to put this out of the way, and then I'll let Carla know when you're ready to go.
That was probably the best IV I ever had. But last time before that, it took like 3 different people. My whole arm bruised from here to here.
Wow.
back. Just your sleep aid, my darling. I already released everything.
Okay.
Hopefully Mike is working on getting all your other meds going. Alright, just fluids going, my love.
Okay. So what I have right now, the medicine they're giving me, it helps me so I don't get sick to my stomach or get diarrhea. It's called Zofran. They do this for about 15 minutes or so before I start my next meds, which is called Herceptin. They used to do it through the port, which was much easier. But unfortunately, I had to get the port taken out because I had problems with the port and I had a blood clot.
Let's get you out of here, baby.
All right.
I just started it again.
Good deal. It's like you've done this before, boss. Almost. He gets to hang out with me every day. Ready? 1, 2, 3, out. Pressure for a minute. You need anything, let us know. Otherwise, we'll see you in 3 weeks.
All right. Yay. Thank you. That wasn't too bad. This is the building where I've been doing all my treatments at starting in April, and I have one more to go. This is February 22nd, and my last one is March 14th in 3 weeks. I get a special spot for a cancer patient, just for me. This is the end of my treatment for today, and I'm heading home. One more to go. Just 2 days after that, I had the worst news.
And then the most devastating thing in the world happened.
I had lost my son, Brendan, in a horrible car accident.
It's the parents' worst nightmare. The knock on the door that you never want to get. And our son didn't make it home. We had to go to the hospital. We were called out in the middle of the night. Then we lost him. And it was just 2 weeks before her last treatment to celebrate with her, to celebrate her victory. We had to lose our son on top of all that pain.
Which was so hard. And I still had one more treatment left to go. And he didn't even get to see me ring the bell for my last treatment. On March 14th was my last treatment. Darren, Tyler, and Jalen all came with me to cheer me on and ring the bell.
I like the Morocco edition.
It's told to clearly say my treatment is done and this course is run. And I'm on my way.
3 weeks ago.
All of you before if you want. March 14th, I rang the bell, and I'm so, I don't even know what to say. I'm just lost for words, but I'm just thinking of Brendan, because I know he's watching from above. Brendan, I did it. I got it. I love you. It went really smooth. The IV went perfect. It went as smooth as it could possibly go.
This is your last time walking out of here?
This is my last time walking out of here, and I can't believe this day came. It seemed like it would take forever. And it's here. And I'm so thankful that you guys are here with me. I have my husband, and I have Tyler and Jalen. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. Take care of her. Brendan, I love you.
Walking out the door last time.
You guys come and locking out this door. Bye-bye. This chapter of my life is over. Thank you, Jesus, for bringing me through this so I can continue on with life. So just after I rang the bell, it was a bit emotional. Of course, I was happy because I was done with chemo and treatment, but I was also very sad that I didn't have Brendan there with us to share the joy that I was feeling. It was really hard. So we had decided to go to Brendan's favorite restaurant that he went to almost daily, Ravis. We all went there to celebrate and had breakfast together. I'm currently taking estrogen blockers. It's called letrozole. I have to take that every day for 5 years, and it's supposed to help for reoccurrence, so I don't have a reoccurrence with cancer. Unfortunately, it doesn't make me feel the best. I get tired and I do have some body pains, but I'm managing it well with diet and exercise. It does help. And another good thing is my hair did thin out quite a bit. I was lucky with cold capping. I was able to keep my hair, but I did lose probably about 35% of my hair. But as you can see now, my hair is almost back to normal. And if I didn't do cold capping, I was told that my hair would probably right now be about this length. So I would have probably about this much hair on my head. So I'm so thankful to do the cold capping and have my hair. My eyelashes, I did lose my eyelashes completely during chemo, and they did come back a few months after treatment, after my last treatment of Herceptin and Perjeta. I did get my eyelashes back. I did lose my eyebrows, and they have grown back, not fully, but they did come back, so I'm grateful for that. So I decided to go back to work after the loss of Brendan. I thought I would give it a try to see if I can do it. I didn't know if I could work, honestly, but my first day back, I was pleasantly surprised. I walked into a potluck. They had a potluck in honor of me, a big cake, and when I went into my classroom, I was called to go down the office, which is a very long hall, to the secretary's room. And as soon as I got down there, my boss had announced on the PA, she said, "Attention, Carrie Burton, we need you to come this way." So as I start to walk down the hallway, all the children, 8 classes with about 20 kids in each room, with kids on both sides of the hallway, are ringing bells, cheering me on for ringing the bell. They're all cheering me on. They're going, "Yay, Mrs. Burton," and all my coworkers are giving me big hugs. And I was able to sit with all my coworkers and just talk about my cancer treatment and the loss of my son, Brendan. And I had so much support from my coworkers that really brought me through and helped me. I was blessed by so much support from family and friends. Almost every day I received a card in the mail from family, friends, co-workers. My sister-in-law called me almost every day. She even stopped over. She would bring me Starbucks coffee and visit with me, and my brother would call and text me, and I just had overwhelming amount of people that showed me so much love and care. I'm just so grateful and thankful because it's with everyone's love and support that really helped carry me through this very challenging time.
That we're going to look back on this journey and say, wow, that made me stronger through this, that gave me more courage and more faith to know that God brought me through all this and going to come out stronger and better. Watch and see.
My husband was there for me night and day. I mean, he cooked for me, he took care of me. When I had my port, he had to drain my port. It was just so much that he did for me. I would not have this hair if it wasn't for my husband. He worked really hard to help take care of me, and he pulled me through on my darkest days. He was there for me every single day. And I don't think I would have made it if it wasn't for my husband and my boys. And my mom coming over constantly, bringing me soup, and Jan with all her care and texts and calls, and the calls I received from Chris daily too. Everyone was just wonderful. My family really helped pull me through this. My whole family has been supportive. My husband, which has been my rock this whole time. My children, Brendan and Tyler, both have been there for me all the time. Yeah, so just the other day, Mima came over and we spent the morning setting up a GoFundMe to help cover all these bills. We're just getting so much bills that are just too much for us to handle. So we've set up a GoFundMe, and I'm just overwhelmed with so many people are just being so generous, and we're just so thankful and blessed for all the generous gifts we've received. I'm not even sure, but I believe it's close to almost $5,000. It's just over four and a half, I think. So and that's just
crazy.
in a couple days. Words can't even describe how grateful and blessed I am for all these people. I'm still using the GoFundMe for all these medical bills that are just piling on. There's people I know and there's people I don't even know that had given, and I'm truly blessed. I feel so blessed to be here and to be alive, and that God pulled me through this.
You have to be your own patient advocate for cancer. And cancer doesn't end. You have to change your lifestyle. You have to continue to do everything holistically every day. Cancer is forever. It will come back if you don't keep treating yourself every day. This is just an unfortunate journey. At this point, we're cancer-free, and we're very thankful.
Leave a message for yourself right now. You're going to hear this back.
I'm trying to push forward and know that I'm on this journey for a reason, and that I'm going to come out stronger than ever, and that I'm going to save my hair. And every day I'm just counting my blessings and thanking God that He gave me this opportunity to become a stronger person and to survive this moment in my life.